What's going on, guys? It's Jamie here from the FM Hub, posting today once again on FM Scout. It's a Monday evening, and today we are continuing with our billionaire experiment in Scotland. Now, lots of you seem to enjoy this first time around, so I'm back with another episode. If you wish to see more of the Billionaire Challenge, not only on this channel, you can actually check it out on my channel. This evening, which is the Monday, I have uploaded the first episode of a new series with the Billionaire League, and that is MLS. I've removed all the restrictions from that league, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. I'll explain more in the video that's just gone up on my channel. It's youtube.com/thefmhub. But for now, we're doing our second season in Scotland. We're doing the Scottish Premier League, and I know there's a few comments suggesting that the branding was a little bit off in terms of the name. I'll look to fix that as we move on to our next league and our next series and try and be as accurate as possible. That's what I always strive to be. But really, the Billionaire Challenge, if you haven't seen the first episode already, we give each team £1 billion. Also, the teams that got promoted from the Championship got £1 billion as well. Last time around, this is how the table looked like. If you go and have a look at the history, we see that Celtic won it, but St Johnstone were really pushing. And this year we've seen that St Johnstone have taken that step up, and for the first time in years, we've seen Celtic finish away from first position. St Johnstone finishing in first place, played 38 games, won 24, drew 8 and lost just 6 games all season, finishing on 80 points. Aberdeen finishing in second place. You can see the competition reputation of the SPL has gone up in 5 positions in just a year, jumping above sort of the Swedish league and the Danish leagues. So it's definitely making progressions. Let's check out the St Johnstone team, because of course they're the team that have won the league. Their key player is Briel Umbolo, and we all know what this lad's capable of. They signed him in the first season for £13.75 million, and he's given them 22 goals this season. Well, overall he's given them 31 goals in 56 games. He's an absolute beast up front for St Johnstone. Who else have they got in their squad? Let's check out the tactics. Callum Chambers they've got as well. Of course, we know how good Callum Chambers goes to be in Football Manager in England International. They got Giovanni Dos Santos, who was a signing for them this year, a very big signing actually for the league. Who else did they sign? Sebastian Rode from Bayern, Jack Grealish, Jesus Navas. How much contract he is on? He is on 67 grand per week, so it's not completely out of the water. Of course, he's a player that's getting older as time goes by, but some of these transfer fees, and they seem a lot more reasonable than experiments I've done in the past. I mean, you'd expect to pay £20 million for a player like Jack Grealish, who has lots of potential. They got Michael Carrick as well in central midfield. I mean, their team looks very, very good, and it's no wonder they've gone on to be very successful in the Scottish Premier League. Let's check out some of the other transfers we would have seen in the Scottish Premiership. What have we seen? The most expensive transfer for this year has been Jordan Ibe, going from Liverpool to Hamilton for £34 million. Jordan Ibe, of course, a very bright English youngster potential there. St Johnstone, we just talked about them. Jack Grealish going there. Seems like Aston Villa must have been relegated, because you can see lots of their players have left. Carles Gil, Amavi, Traore, Grealish. Traore going to Partick Thistle. They've made some of the biggest transfers of this season, really looking to bolster their squad with the likes of Joel Ward, Veritout. Adama Traore is a great signing. We've seen Giovanni Dos Santos join the league, some big names throughout all of this, and all in all, I think some of the fees are quite reasonable for the calibre of player that they're actually signing. Now, there's not been a huge amount of signings. Last year we saw lots of big £30 million transfers and all that, but it seems to be a little bit more reasonable this year. The biggest transfer, like we said, was Jordan Ibe. But other than that, teams have managed to be a lot smarter with their money, which is what I've always wanted to see, is to see teams be a lot smarter and really invest in the future and look to build something bigger than just a short-term success. Raith Rovers and St Mirren went down this season. Last season, Motherwell and Kilmarnock went down. If we go check out the Scottish Championship, the teams that got promoted, one of them was Raith Rovers. We gave them £1 billion, but they haven't managed to stay in the division, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with them when they go down. This season, like we said, St Mirren and Raith Rovers going down. Aberdeen finishing in second place in the Europa League positions. Same with Hearts as well. Celtic finishing in fourth, not going well for them, 2 points away from those European places. What have their transfers been like this season? Really not strengthening nearly as much as the other players have. They've sold lots of players. Perhaps they're sort of doing a clear out of all the players. But last season, they spent £100 million and They won it last year but haven't managed to maintain it this season. It'll be interesting to see how things pan out with them. Of course, Celtic have been the dominant force in Scotland for such a long while now, but are we seeing St Johnstone take over? Their team on paper looks absolutely fantastic. They've had a meteoric rise up the table the past few seasons, and yeah, they look very, very good. They're going to be playing European football next year, so it's going to be interesting to track how that goes. Let's check out then how Celtic have done. Of course, they won the Championship, the Premiership last year. How have they done and fared in Europe? They went out in the Champions League group, finishing the third. They had a really tough group, actually, with Dortmund, Juventus and Dinamo Kiev. They went through against Lyon in the first knockout round. That'll be considered a huge upset. Jordan Rhodes bagging 2 goals, 3 goals in the leg, putting them through 4-3. But unfortunately, they come up against Marseille and were just played off the park. Lost 4-0 over 2 legs. So not a huge amount of progression. St Johnstone finished second last year. David Moyes is now the manager for them. They've been in the Europa League, so let's take a look at how they've been doing. I actually really like the look of St Johnstone. They seem to have really put money in the right places. They got out of the Europa League group, but unfortunately met AC Milan and were beat 5-1. But I mean, the fact that these teams are actually getting towards these Europa League, knockout rounds is astonishing in itself. Inverness were the other team to get into Europe, I believe. Let's see how they've done. Let's get rid of all of these and check the Europa League. Unfortunately, it seems like they got knocked out in qualifying. A tough draw against Lille, who were a good French team. Couldn't come away with a victory there, which is a shame, but they've gone out. Up for next season, we're going to be seeing St Johnstone, Aberdeen and Hearts playing European football. Aberdeen, Brendan Rodgers is now currently the manager. They've got some good players and have signed some over the past few years, enabling them to finish in second place, which is nothing to be ashamed of. Some big transfers this year. Rogani, who is, I know, goes on to be an awesome defender. £30 million. Who else have we got? Divock Origi, is that how you pronounce it? For 20 million, they've made some really big transfers this season. Well, that was last season. This season, they haven't made any. But, I mean, that's what we tend to find, is if they do invest big in the first season, we don't see investment in the second season. That's become a common trend. And we have done that throughout everything with the Premier League, with the conference. We've constantly seen that teams will either invest in the first year and look to use those players to progress up the tables or get a better team, or they'll wait a little bit and build an infrastructure and sign youngsters and try and progress. I did it with the conference, and Boreham Wood and Wrexham did exactly that. Didn't invest massively early on. I mean, Boreham Wood did in wages, but they sort of pulled away from the pack just because they smartly used their money. It's very interesting to see how things go. Also, I'm really excited to continue this and see where the Scottish Premiership goes and how it drags Scottish football up. This season, the player stats look quite funny. I mean, you look at it, Shane Long, he scored 25 goals, he's banged them in. Embolo, we've got up there, he's a big name. Giovinco's a fairly big name. Benicophobe also. The highest average rating, though, goes to Charlie Mulgrew, that Celtic defender who's been at Celtic now for 6 or 7 years. He's the best player in the league, apparently, despite all these big names. What else have we got? Player details. What else have we got here? We've got Umbolo, games 1, usual stuff. Nothing interesting. Pepe with the red cards. I love that. Getting 5 red cards all season. The closest player behind him got 2, so sums up Pepe pretty darn well, I think. I think we've pretty much covered everything we need to look at this season. I want to hear your feedback. Do you want me to do more years of the Scottish Premiership? I'm interested to see how things pan out. Please let me know in the comments. You can follow me at Twitter at twitter.com/FM Hub, and on YouTube, my link is in the description where you can check out all of my other billionaire experiments. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe to FM Scout. I will see you guys soon. Goodbye for now.